Hello everybody, it's Donna here from Purple Pinky Promises, and I'm coming to you from a cold and snowy Kansas City today. That's our little fur baby. She's taking it all in from the right perspective. So, our project, of course, is quite appropriate for the weather we're having, and it's an ode to our weathermen. Weather people who basically tell us to stay warm, stay cozy, bundle up. It's cold outside. This is for all of you who roll your eyes at the obvious. Anyway, so I'm starting out with my Catherine Pooler inks. This is 16 candles, and I picked all of my ink colors based on the cardstock that I used for this project. All of my cardstock comes from Concord 9th, and I will show you all of the products at some point, and they'll also be listed in the description. So here we go. What I'm creating here is, with this 6x6 stencil, is an ombre of all of the colors that are all of the colors of the cardstock that I'm using. And I am basically just going through, blending, and when I'm ready for the next one, I'm popping in with the next one. So I'm going from light to dark, and then I'm going back to light again. So my two middle colors are my two darker colors, and the top and bottom are my light. So I just kind of created this fade, if you will, at the top and at the bottom. So top to middle, bottom to middle. And as I said, this project is basically an ode to all of the people who roll their eyes at the weatherman, weatherwoman, the weather person. When we're told that it's cold outside, so you need to bundle up. I was thinking about what kind of, who you would send this project to, or this card to. And because some of you might think, oh, I would never send that kind of a card to anybody. But there are some situations in which you could send this card. I'm going to come back to that subject and kind of tell you what I just did. So, of course, you saw me. I just lined up that stencil, and I just keep going, even though it's 6x6, and my project is actually a slimline. And I will tell you that I used the Dare to be Artsy, oh gosh, I think it's the Daisy Slimline, Wildflower Slimline, excuse me. And that Slimline die measures to be 8.5 by 3.5, I believe. And so this, that's what this Slimline card measures to be. Okay, because this card front fully covers the front of that Slimline card. So back to what I was talking about. Who would you send this kind of a card to? I would send this card to somebody who has maybe a January birthday. You could add a birthday sentiment to it on the inside, especially if they live in a cold climate. You could send it to somebody who is has just moved to a cold climate from a warm climate. Or you could just send it as a friendship card. It's kind of nice to just get a card for no general reason at all, but just a hello to your friend, because it's winter and you're sending a winter card, and that Slimline does give you a lot of space to write a note inside. So I just thought that would be kind of a cute thing to send to a buddy who lives in a cold climate. And so I'm just giving you a rundown on all the products here. So what I love about Concord 9th here, this is the is it the bundle? Not the bundle up, but the sweater season bundle, or stamps and dies. So this is Knit with Care, I think. No, Knitting Together. This is Knit Together set. And what I love is they have a sample on the back of the dies on how to layer the stamps and put them, or dies, and some of the stamps are also featured in that set on the back of the dies to show you how to layer the dies together. So that's a really nice feature that they put on their packaging. So shout out to Concord 9th for that. So there's that die from Dare to be Artsy. That is the card that I cut out the card front from. And here's my Concord 9th cardstock that I've used. And of course, I'm running through this really quickly, and all of that will definitely be listed in the description. At the top, if you're watching this from Facebook, and it's below if you're watching from YouTube. All right, so now that we have that ombre done, I'm going to put this card front on, and we're going to start layering it up. So I am using that as a guide. It's kind of nice that that is there for me to kind of look at to determine which pieces go where. So just an FYI, it's nice to know that you don't actually even have to watch a video on how to put these together, even though I'm showing you. I have done half of these dies just to show you how they are put together. So the other two I have already put together. These little knitting needles are so adorable. I just thought they would be, this is some Spellbinders brushed silver cardstock, and I thought, you know what, those would be also really, really cute in some holographic cardstock. Super adorable. It would have really picked up all of the colors in my project had I used some holographic cardstock. But I stuck with a neutral brushed gray. So I had to pull this off because I needed to get my needles in there before I started gluing things down. So luckily I thought of that before I started getting a little too excited and putting all this stuff down to paper. So that's basically what I'm doing here, is I'm trying to determine where my knitting needles are going to tuck in. So I kind of have to fiddle with it for a little bit before I make that determination. I do want them to stick out the bottom, so I just decided that I would glue them all to that one piece. It would probably be a little bit easier to do it that way if I just kept it both of them coming out at a crisscross towards the bottom. And by the way, I'm at home recording this, so we have all the noises here. There's snow plows, smoothies, you know, just life stuff happening in the background. So if you hear any noises, that's just life happening. Life happens at a home. Imagine that. Okay, so here we go. And we're going to get this, now we can get this layered up the way it needs to be layered up appropriately. Okay. So top, bottom, side, and across is how this goes. I tried to turn on my my noise machine to kind of cancel out a lot of the background noise, but I don't know if that's going to be too effective at this point. And here I am, once again, just fiddling with it to try to determine how I want it to lay. Do I want those needles to come, you know, through the side? And I think that's what I ended up deciding. Maybe, I don't know. Thanks for patiently waiting for this project. As I said, life happens, and I didn't get to it as soon as I thought I would. So thank you for waiting for me to get this project uploaded. Okay, here we go. This is pretty easy. You're basically going to get your right and left dies on, and then you're going to put the last two that go across. I know we have this cold snap that's come across our nation. I think I saw somewhere where there was tornado warnings. And if there wasn't a tornado warning, then it was a blizzard. This is crazy stuff, folks. This weather is insane. Here it is, January. It should be snow, not tornadoes. But of course, I know that in some climates, January does not bring forth snow for everyone. It can bring tornadoes for some people. Okay. And there it is. So basically what you're doing is you're layering up your dies to create a ball of yarn. Okay, I thought it would be really cute to take two colors and create a shadow. So all I've done is I have die cut this twice out of two different colors of cardstock, and I'm just offsetting it to create a shadow. Nothing spectacular, nothing, special here. Just some shadowing with the same die. Sometimes I think we forget that we can do that. And this is just a little reminder. Yeah, create a shadow with your one set of dies. And yes, I do like my little teensy weensy little dies. I'm not afraid to create with tiny little things. So here's my little tip. Get yourself some tape. And if you are like me and you tend to use those lose those little tiny pieces, stick them down on that tape that you use to cut your dies with. That's the Spellbinders Best Ever Craft tape. Well, oh my goodness. The Spellbinders Best Ever Craft tape. So I have used that to hold on to it so I wouldn't lose it. Okay, so here we go. How I created this area where we're going to do some inlay. I will show you that here pretty soon, but most of you are pretty familiar with how this process works when you when you layer up die cuts. But I will show you with the dies in a moment. I realized, oh, I should have showed that on the camera, and so I popped in with those dies to show you that. I didn't actually show you the whole process. I just show you how I tape the dies together to create that inlay piece. So there is a background die, and then there's the die that cuts out all of these letters. And you can get a 2-for-1 or you get two different looks out of it. So you've got I don't know why I said 2-for-1, but you get a background piece and then you get the cutout piece. You'll see in a minute. Okay, so now I'm taking the buttons that are in this die set, I believe it's the Knitting Together die set. Again, all the products will be listed in the description. And I'm putting them together. I won't be showing you all of these pieces. I only show you. I think I cut out a color, the blue. I believe I cut out, yeah, a blue one. Yep, there it is, a blue heart button as well. So now I'm just going to go through this inlay process. I won't show you everything. And now here it is. Here's the whole background piece right here. So that is that die right there. And then what I did, so that's the background die. And then you put them together. You tape them together, as I'm showing you here. So you're going to tape them down. And then you run them through your die cut machine, and you get that front piece to create an inlay piece. And now I'm just popping in all of my letters. I was trying to think. All the things you could say with these letters. Yay. Zoo. Stay out. Oh my goodness. So don't forget, when you have sets like this, you can also create some other words out of it as well. Get creative with the dies, especially the alphas. Yeah. I thought it would be cute to, you know how some people say yes, and I believe that is spelled by A-A-S or something like that. That would be fun. You could create something like that. This was kind of a last minute addition on this twine. I thought, oh, that would make it really look kind of like scarf-ish. So I thought, oh, how cute. This twine works great. The colors just really work great. And I thought, what a perfect little spot for that. Just has that little groove, whatever, groove. Get your groove on. Mm-hmm. So I decided to tie a bow right there. And I am tying my bow a little different than I normally tie my bows. I just decided to do it different this time. Anyway, okay. So just shoring that up. Fussying with it a little bit. Getting that bow to look halfway decent. And that is really all there is to. There's really not a magic in creating bows. It's that simple. I know in my classes, everybody asks me to create their bows. I get it. Some people just fuss and fiddle with bows and they get frustrated. Bows don't bother me at all, as a matter of fact. If you know me, I love twine. I love bling, so I had to throw in the twine. All right, these scissors are so adorable. And yes, purple is my favorite color, so I had to, of course, if we're using purple, those scissors just had to be purple. And, you know, these are going to be my fabric scissors because we're cutting, of course, we're cutting yarn with it. So these are my purple fabric scissors. I think I saw a funny meme and I can't repeat, I don't remember what it was a funny meme and I can't remember what it says, or I would repeat it, but it was hilarious. But yes, fabric scissors and paper scissors are a real thing, folks. And the death penalty is possible when you break that rule. All right. So now here we go to this heart. Now this heart is not going to go on the front, but it's actually going to go on the inside. So when I showed you that picture at the very beginning, you had a double view, and one is the front, card front, and the other is the view that you get on the inside. So that heart, so cute. I love how creative they were with creating the layers to get a double, kind of like a double color or multicolor look, and to make it look a little more realistic. You could actually even use a different color. It would be really neat. But I just decided to go back to the lilac color. I thought that's a neat look right there. Just the same color you have in the background. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I really honestly, this is a great tip for all of your little fiddly pieces of dies. Just get yourself some glue on your craft mat and dip it in there. It's all going to be okay. I did not feel like going around every single little curve on those tiny little dies. So there it is. Voila. Super cute. You know, I'm not a knitter. I've tried several times to knit. It has never panned out for me. And my mother was a very creative person. She did all sorts of crafting and sewing and things like that. My mother was, she knit, she crocheted, she sewed, and she did macrame, all of those creative things. My mother was a fabulous cook as well, and I think that is also a creative. Somebody who can cook on the fly without any recipes, it's part of the creative brain. Okay, so here I am. We are going to put this card front together. After messing with it 1,000 different ways, I decided that this was the look I was going to go for. So I did not show you that process because this video was long enough, half an hour. And yeah, because we're doing inside, and there's a lot of dies here, folks, a lot of dies. Before I started the whole process of die cutting, I obviously went through and picked out all of my cardstock, my inks, and that sort of thing. So it made a whole lot easier to get those dies done if I'm not going back and forth from color to color. So picking out your colors is probably the first thing you want to do in the process. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes your colors don't always line up with what you're looking, what your vision is. So yeah, sometimes you have to start over. Okay, so we're going to use some foam tape here, foam adhesive, and a little bit of glue, because that's where the cardstock is going to touch each other, and or the ball of yarn is going to touch that. So, and the rest of it is going to be popped up on that foam. And here we are with the scissors. I just think those scissors are so adorable. They remind me of Cutterbee scissors. If Cutterbee had purple scissors, I probably would have 10 of them. Because if you can have 10, why not? Why have just one when you can have 10? That's my husband's philosophy about a lot of things. Okay. I laugh at his overkill sometimes. It's hilarious. All right. Here we go. Again, putting glue where the die cuts meet in the back, and then foam tape on the rest. So now all of these different little pieces of yarn that stick out from your ball of yarn, I'll pop those on. I apologize if I get off camera a little bit. Yep, I think I see that I'm off camera. There we go. Yay, I recognize that before it's too late. So just basically tucking things in to make it look realistic, to see where everything will work. And I'm just going to glue all of those pieces in. And I did shorten it up. Cut some things out that I edited so you wouldn't have to watch paint dry. You're welcome. But back to forecasting the weather. That's a hard job. I don't know that I would really want to have that out in public. Be wrong all the time. Not all the time, but so frequently. That'd be hard. And everybody giving you grief about it. I mean, it's not a 100% science. So that has to be hard. So shout out to all of our weather forecasters out there. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for keeping us, giving us the heads up and keeping us safe. I know I razzed you at the beginning, but we do really appreciate you. So I had to add the humor in there. Some people just get really frustrated when they're told the obvious. It's kind of funny. Anyway, my husband and I have a little bit of humor about the obvious. Yeah, hollering, hey, it's snowing out there. A couple minutes later, he'll repeat it back. Hey, hun, it's snowing out there. Oh, it's what old people do. When you're empty nesters, you got to find something to be goofy about, right? That's how you keep things fresh and fun. All right. I'll tell you what, my battery died in the middle of putting those sequins on. So here I am showing you where the sequins went. So that's why that jumped all of a sudden to, oh, the sequins are done. Yay. Some of you are probably happy I didn't show you the whole process. But anyway, so now here we are to the inside. And I just taped that down so that it doesn't keep popping up and I can have a little more accuracy on a flat surface. Okay, now, here I go. I am doing direct stamping, folks. I typically use a stamping platform because I have a little bit of anxiety about messing up. But for some reason, that all went out the window that day. I think that's probably why I jumped ahead and said for someday. For some reason, my direct to paper fear was not here. And so I am stamping off on a piece of scrap paper because I haven't ever used that stamp before. And I got lucky. All my images turned out just fine. Sometimes we just got to trust ourselves. And you got to trust that Catherine Pooler ink is fabulous. And it does what it's supposed to do. As long as you have inked up that ink pad, you're not going to have any issues with direct to paper stamping. It's fabulous. This ink is wonderful. Okay, removing the tape because I wanted to add a few more snowflakes on the right side there so it wouldn't kind of all be congregated on the left. So here we are, adding our snowflakes to the right side. And now we're all balanced and it's done on the inside. Hip, hip, hooray. It is cold outside, folks. So stay cozy and bundle up. Thanks for joining me here. I appreciate you. Every time you come and take a look at what we have to post over here, give us a like, subscribe, and come back and see us again. Thanks, guys. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.